After World War II, the world stood in shock. 6 million Jews had been murdered in Europe during the Holocaust. The crimes were committed by European governments, on European soil, against European citizens. The scale of the genocide forced the world to confront a question it had long avoided. What now? Hundreds of thousands of Jewish survivors were left homeless. Their towns were destroyed. Their families were gone. Many remained in displaced persons camps across Europe years after the war ended. But instead of rebuilding Jewish life in Europe, where the crimes had occurred, European powers searched for a different solution. That solution was Palestine. At the time, Palestine was not empty land. It was a living society. Palestinians had cities, villages, farms, schools, newspapers, and centuries of continuous presence. Yet they were never consulted about plans being made for their land. Britain, which controlled Palestine under the Mandate system, had already made conflicting promises during World War I. By the end of World War II, it was exhausted, indebted, and eager to hand the problem to the newly formed United Nations. In 1947, the UN proposed the Partition Plan. It recommended dividing Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, despite the fact that Palestinians made up the majority of the population and owned most of the land. Jewish leaders accepted the plan. Palestinian leaders rejected it, arguing that they were being asked to pay the price for a European crime. The vote passed anyway. What followed was not peaceful transition, but violence and displacement. In 1948, more than 700,000 Palestinians were expelled or fled from their homes in what Palestinians call the Nakba, the catastrophe. Over 400 villages were destroyed or depopulated. Refugees were barred from returning. Entire families became stateless overnight. This was not an accident of war. Israeli historians themselves have documented organized expulsions, intimidation, and deliberate prevention of return. The creation of a new state was accompanied by the removal of another people. Holocaust survivors were victims of unimaginable crimes. That truth does not disappear. But another truth exists alongside it. Palestinians were not responsible for the Holocaust. They did not carry out the genocide. Yet they were the ones forced to absorb its political consequences. Europe chose a shortcut. Instead of confronting anti-Semitism at home, instead of guaranteeing safety and equality where Jews had lived for centuries, European powers supported the transformation of Palestine without Palestinian consent. Sympathy became policy. Guilt became borders. This framing turned Palestinian resistance into an inconvenience, and Palestinian existence into an obstacle. From the very beginning, the Palestinian story was treated as secondary. To remember the Holocaust honestly means remembering everything that followed. Justice for one people cannot be built on the dispossession of another. History did not end in 1945. It continued, and Palestinians are still living with the consequences. If you want more history that connects past injustices to present realities, like the video and subscribe to Past Forward. Understanding how narratives are shaped is the first step toward truth.